I'm Clara, and at 60 years old, I thought my love story with my husband, the man I'd adored for 40 years, was unbreakable until his betrayal in our final years together shattered my world, leaving me to pick up the pieces of a life built on trust, a pain that lingers like a shadow over every sunrise, a wound that refuses to heal despite the time that's passed. I live in a charming Victorian house in Portland, Oregon, its gingerbread trim weathered by rain, the garden bursting with roses I planted with my husband, Paul, who passed 2 years ago from a sudden illness, his gentle voice still whispering in the parlor, where we'd shared late-night talks. My days are solitary, pruning the roses with hands stiff from arthritis, baking cinnamon rolls for the neighborhood kids who call me Auntie Clara, their giggles a faint echo of joy, and sorting through Paul's old jazz records, their scratches a reminder of the dances we'd shared, a life I built with our daughter, Lisa, now 39, a florist with a warm laugh, and our 2 granddaughters, Ava, 17, a pianist with a soulful touch, and Grace, 14, a nature lover who sketches trees. I'd given everything to Paul, leaving my dreams of becoming a teacher to support his carpentry business, cooking his favorite pot roast every Sunday, standing by him through every storm, dreaming of growing old together in the home we'd restored, a love I thought was eternal. But a devastating truth revealed his infidelity, turning my golden years into a battle for my dignity and peace. It began one rainy April morning, the air heavy with the scent of wet earth, as I cleaned out Paul's study, looking for his will to settle some lingering debts, the room still holding his cedarwood scent. Hidden behind a loose panel in his desk, I found a bundle of letters, their envelopes worn but sealed with wax, addressed to a woman named Elaine in Seattle, each one in Paul's unmistakable hand, dated over the last 5 years of our marriage, a time when I'd cared for him through his worsening health, my body aching from sleepless nights. The letters were love notes, passionate and detailed. Elaine, you're my true escape. My heart beats for you. Revealing an affair that had blossomed while I nursed him, a betrayal that pierced me like a thorn, each word a reminder of the trust I'd given so freely, the nights I'd sat by his bedside now tainted by his lies, his assurances of love a hollow echo in my mind. My heart sank as I realized he'd hidden this from me until the end, taking his secret to the grave, leaving me to uncover it alone. The pain deepened when I found a photo tucked into the letters, its edges softened by time. A woman with auburn hair and a radiant smile, standing with Paul at a seaside cafe. The date stamped 2018, just 3 years before his death, a moment captured while I'd been planning our 40th anniversary party, my hands busy with rose arrangements, oblivious to his deceit. My hands trembled as I sat at his desk, the rain tapping against the window, the weight of the truth crushing me as I pieced together the signs, his late work trips, the unexplained charges on our account, the distant look in his eyes during his final months, all pointing to Elaine, a life he'd lived parallel to ours, a love he'd chosen over me, leaving me to question every kiss, every promise, every moment we'd shared. The roses outside now a bitter symbol of a love I'd nurtured alone. I felt the sting of his betrayal. The man I devoted my life to, the partner I'd trusted implicitly, had broken me in my most vulnerable years, a wound that deepened with every memory of our wedding vows, their words now a mockery in my ears. I called Lisa and the girls to the house, my voice shaking as I clutched the letters, the photo burning a hole in my pocket, the scent of rain-soaked roses drifting through the open window as I sat them down in the parlor, the same room where we'd celebrated birthdays, the piano still holding Ava's sheet music, a relic of happier times. I laid the evidence on the coffee table, its surface marked by years of teacups, and confessed my discovery, my eyes searching theirs for comfort, my heart pleading for understanding, the girls' shocked gasps cutting me deeper than I'd expected. Lisa's face hardened, her florist's gentleness replaced by anger, while Ava clung to Grace, their tears falling as they processed the news. Lisa admitted she'd met Elaine at Paul's funeral, a woman who'd lingered at the back, claiming to be a friend, and they'd kept in touch, forming a bond with this other woman in Paul's life, all while shielding me from the truth, their silence a betrayal as deep as his, each secret call a knife in my back, the thought of them consoling her while I grieved alone breaking my heart anew. The revelation grew darker when I learned they'd been giving Elaine money from Paul's life insurance, a policy I'd thought was for our family, funds I'd relied on for my arthritis treatments and the house's repairs, the creak of the floorboards a constant reminder of its age. Lisa admitted they'd sent Elaine over $25,000, claiming it was what Dad would have wanted to support her after his death, her justification a hollow excuse for draining the account I'd counted on, leaving me with barely enough to cover the mortgage, a financial betrayal that left me reeling, my hands shaking as I realized how close I'd come to losing my home, the roses outside a silent witness to my pain. They'd even planned to invite Elaine to Portland for a memorial, without telling me, a gathering scheduled for Christmas, a holiday I'd spent alone the past 2 years, their excuses of work, now a lie exposed. The thought of them raising a glass to her while I sat with a cold cup of tea breaking my heart anew. Each imagined toast a betrayal I couldn't forgive, the weight of Paul's infidelity crashing down. I refused to let his betrayal and their deceit define my future, so I hired a lawyer, a kind man named Daniel with a calm demeanor, using the last of my savings from my homemaking years, money I'd kept in a porcelain teapot on the shelf, its lid chipped from Grace's childhood games. The legal battle stretched over 8 grueling months, each court date a test of my aging body, the courthouse's stone steps a challenge for my knees, the air heavy with the scent of damp wood and the murmur of attorneys, their voices a drone against my pounding heart. Lisa's lawyer, a polished woman with a steely gaze, argued I was bitter and unstable due to Paul's death, presenting altered bank records that claimed I'd approved the payments, a lie that made my blood boil, their audacity a slap to my face, the girl's silent stares from the gallery adding to my pain. I sat through testimonies from Elaine, who appeared in court, her resemblance to Paul's charm a punch to my gut, her voice steady as she claimed emotional support from his family and from a financial advisor they'd hired, who testified I'd been negligent, a fabrication that brought tears to my eyes, my hands gripping Daniel's arm for support, his presence a lifeline. Daniel countered with evidence of my frugal life, receipts for my treatments, letters from neighbors who praised my generosity, and bank records showing the unauthorized withdrawals, his voice a steady anchor as he fought for me, his belief in my cause a light in the darkness, the granddaughter's eyes widening as the truth unraveled. I lost sleep, my bedroom a sanctuary turned prison, the silence deafening as I lay awake, the ticking of Paul's old watch on the nightstand a cruel reminder of time slipping away, its hands moving forward while I felt stuck in betrayal, the moonlight streaming through the lace curtains casting shadows on the walls, each one a specter of my pain, the creak of the floorboards a ghostly echo of his footsteps. The ghost of our shared life haunted me. Paul's laughter as we waltzed in the kitchen, Ava's piano recitals where he'd beamed, Grace's sketches of the garden, each memory a blade that cut deeper, their joy a stark contrast to the man he'd become, his deceit a shadow over the love I'd given, the sound of his voice now a bitter refrain in my mind, mingling with Elaine's imagined whispers. I'd clutch Paul's old scarf, its wool frayed from years of wear, the scent of his aftershave long gone, but the fabric a tether to the man I'd loved, my tears soaking the threads as I whispered to him in the dark, begging for answers, my voice breaking as I asked why he betrayed me, the silence his only response. My neighbors rallied around me, their support a lifeline in my despair, bringing casseroles and sitting with me in the garden, the roses blooming as they shared stories of their own losses, their voices a comfort against the storm in my heart, the hum of bees a gentle backdrop to our talks. But the weight of Lisa and the girls' betrayal bore down, their absence at my birthday, a day they'd once filled with flowers and hugs, Ava's melodies, Grace's drawings, leaving me to celebrate with a single candle, its flame flickering as I made a silent wish for closure, the wax bitter against the ache in my chest, the empty chairs a silent accusation of Paul's infidelity. Just when I thought the worst had passed, a new twist emerged. Daniel discovered Lisa had been working with a shady estate agent, a man named Victor with a history of financial manipulation, who'd helped them siphon the insurance money, his name linked to a scam that had targeted other widows in Portland, his involvement a chilling revelation that deepened my fear, my nights now filled with dread of losing everything. The creak of the porch swing a sound I began to dread, its motion a reminder of happier days. I hired a private investigator, a thoughtful woman named Rachel with a steady gaze, her presence a reassurance as she dug into Victor's dealings, meeting me at a cafe with rain-streaked windows, the smell of roasted coffee lingering as she handed me files, her hands steady as she detailed his schemes, the clink of cups a rhythm to our conversation. Rachel uncovered that Lisa had promised Victor a cut of the insurance money, using it to fund a failing floral shop venture, a plot that could have left me destitute, the paperwork a labyrinth of deceit that made my head spin, each page a betrayal etched in numbers, the granddaughters' names on some documents a shock that left me breathless, their involvement a wound I couldn't comprehend. But the plot thickened when Rachel revealed Victor's deeper motive. He'd been jilted by an older client years ago, a widow who'd refused his advances, and now he targeted seniors as revenge. His partnership with Lisa a twisted game of power, each move a step toward reclaiming his pride, a revelation that turned my stomach, the layers of betrayal piling higher, my breath catching as I realized the depth of their malice. The girl's innocence a bitter twist. I spent months gathering evidence, my days a blur of meetings with Daniel, his office lined with law books and a view of the Willamette River, phone calls with Rachel, her voice a steady comfort, and sleepless nights poring over documents, my kitchen table a war room of scattered papers and teacups, the walls closing in as I fought to reclaim what was mine, the ink on the pages blurring through my tears, my glasses fogging with each shaky breath, the scent of roses drifting in from the open window a bitter contrast to my pain. One evening, as I sorted through Paul's old tools, their handles worn from his hands, I found a note he'd written to me on our 25th anniversary, tucked inside, its words a balm to my soul. Clara, you're my rock. Forgive my flaws. The words gave me the resolve to keep fighting, his handwriting a lifeline in the storm, its loops and curves a reminder of the man I'd loved despite his betrayal, my fingers tracing the ink as I wept, the paper crinkling under my touch. But the fear escalated when Victor left a threatening note under my door one night, its words scrawled in green ink. Back off or you'll regret it, the threat chilling me to the core, my hands trembling as I showed it to Daniel, his face hardening as he promised to report him, his resolve a shield I clung to, my heart racing as I double-checked the locks each night, the click of the bolt a small victory against my fear. The courtroom became a crucible of tension, each session a battle for my dignity, the air heavy with the scent of old wood and the murmur of spectators, their whispers a backdrop to my pain, the benches creaking under their weight. Lisa and the girls sat together, their faces a mask of defiance, Lisa's jaw tight, Ava's hands on the piano keys, Grace's sketchbook clutched to her chest, their unity a stark contrast to the family we'd once been, their childhood photos on the wall behind me a painful reminder of what I'd lost, the frames tilting slightly from age. The judge, a woman with a stern demeanor and a clear voice, listened as Daniel presented our evidence, the real bank statements, Rachel's findings on Victor, testimonies from neighbors who praised my resilience, their voices a chorus of support that brought tears to my eyes, their hands patting mine as they passed, the warmth of their touch a lifeline. Victor was called as a witness, his smug demeanor faltering under Daniel's cross-examination, his lies unraveling as he stammered, his involvement with Lisa exposed, the courtroom buzzing with gasps as the truth came to light, the weight of their deceit laid bare, the girls' faces paling as the evidence mounted, Lisa's silence a confession of her loyalty to Elaine. Paul's betrayal fueled their actions, a truth that broke my heart anew, their resentment a wound that bled with every glance across the room, their faces now strangers to me, the granddaughter's tears a bitter mirror to my own. Finally, after a fight that felt like an eternity, marked by moments of despair and fleeting hope, the judge ruled in my favor, ordering Lisa and the girls to repay the misused funds, over $25,000 in total, a sum they'd struggled to afford, a financial burden I knew they'd resent me for. The the checks arriving in dribbles that barely covered my expenses. Each one a reminder of the cost of Paul's deceit and their betrayal, the envelopes piling up on my counter like a silent accusation. Victor was arrested for fraud in a separate investigation. His arrest reported in the local paper, his downfall a small justice that eased my fear, but the victory felt hollow. My trust in my daughter and granddaughters was shattered into fragments I couldn't piece back together. My home secure, but my heart scarred by the ones I'd loved most. Paul's betrayal a wound that throbbed with every memory of our life. Their laughter now a bitter echo, a sound that once brought joy now laced with pain. The girls' music and sketches a painful reminder of what I'd lost to his infidelity. I started therapy to process the trauma, sitting in a warm room with a therapist named Susan, her gentle voice guiding me through the grief, joining a support group for widows who'd faced betrayal, their stories of resilience, like a woman whose husband left her for another, or another whose son sided with the mistress, inspiring me to find my own strength, their shared sorrow a mirror to mine in the circle of chairs, the creak of the floor a rhythm to our healing, our hands clasped in solidarity. The scent of lavender from a candle, a soft comfort. I fortified my home, installing a security system with alarms that chirped softly at night, painting the porch a soft lavender to reclaim the space, the brushstrokes a defiant act against my sorrow, hanging bird feeders to banish the silence, their chirping a melody of renewal, the flutter of wings a sign of life, the seeds spilling onto the ground a small act of defiance. I adopted a rescue dog, a golden retriever named Sunny with a gentle gait, his warmth a comfort as he slept at my feet, his soft barks a reminder that I wasn't alone, his presence a silent companion as I watched the rain fall outside, its drops a quiet beauty. I started volunteering at a local music school, teaching piano to young students, channeling my pain into helping them, their gratitude a balm for my broken spirit as we played scales together, my hands steadying as I showed them chords, their smiles a flicker of light in my darkness, their notes a new rhythm in my life. Yet the wounds linger. I flinch at the sound of a phone ringing, fearing it's one of them. My heart now a source of anxiety with each unanswered call, the silence of the line a heavy weight, and I've grown wary of love, my trust guarded behind walls I never thought I'd need, each memory of Paul a double-edged sword, my smile faltering at the thought of his voice, their music, their sketches. I've taken up gardening again, tending to the roses to reclaim my joy, the scent of their blooms a new rhythm in my life, its fragrance a testament to my survival, the petals falling like tears, but the memories of his betrayal still surface, his kisses at dawn, their hugs at family gatherings, the love I thought we shared a bittersweet ache that lingers like a ghost, a testament to the strength I found in the ashes of his deceit, a resilience forged in the fire of my pain. Thanks for listening to my story. It means the world to share this with you. Let me know in the comments if it resonated with you, and please like and subscribe if you'd like more real-life drama tales. I'd really appreciate your support.